Hi, welcome. We are excited to have you join us on our adventure. We are just launching Nest to Cozy Nest.
We realized a couple things. That change is hard, it's scary and guaranteed, but it also can be what?
Fun and exciting, jumping into the unknown.
So, welcome to Nest to Cozy Nest. We are your lovebirds,
Michelle?
and Roscoe. We don't know a lot of things as we've started. Our youngest right now is getting ready to fly the coop, and we realized that this is our time to go enjoy our best life. We'd like you to join us on that. We thought in order to make this work, we'd do a quick get to know us so that you guys could understand who we are. Michelle and I met in 1995 at a friend's house. Candidly, we were married within 6 months of meeting, and it's been crazy since then. Fast and furious.
It has. It's been really fun. When we first got married, we started with our little cozy nest, and then as we progressed through the years, our nest got bigger and bigger with 4 amazing children. We have 3 boys and a girl, and they have been our joy and our frustrations and all the fun things.
They still are.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue parenting. Anybody who's in that stage of life understands it's changed from taking care of them to coaching and guiding and counseling. Our oldest is 25. Our youngest is
almost 18.
Yeah, which is wild actually to think about. So those are coming up pretty quick. 2 graduated college. One's in college, and the other one is getting ready to go on his church service mission. So we're really excited for him. And while he's gone, we figured we'll be gone. We've owned 3 homes. Our first home was there in Taylorsville. We were young, and I think Michelle was making, $4 an hour?
It felt like
I don't even think you're making that much. I was making $11 an hour selling cell phones. That was back prepaid cellular back in the day.
Yeah.
And we bought a little home there in Taylorsville. Day after we signed on our home, I actually got laid off from work. It motivated me to go back to college. Went back to college. When we graduated, we sold the home there in Taylorsville to my parents, and we took off to California. Spent a couple years working for Ford Motor Company there. And then went over to Colorado, and we thought, hey, this will be a great place to buy a house. We were in it for
7 months.
Yeah. So we lost a lot of money
really
in that one. Yeah, that was not a good one. And then we bought the home that we currently live in. At that point in time, we'd already moved 12 times, and we were married 5 or 6 years. And Michelle said, hey, let's not move if we don't have to while the kids are in school. So we've been able to raise the kids here in the house. We've been in this home 21 years. So as you will see other videos, when we go through to declutter and get ready to put it up on the rental market, it's a lot of work. There's a lot to be done. We bought ourselves a small cabin back in 2020, right? During the pandemic. We found a little cozy nest. At that point in time, we had no plans on living in it. It was just for fun. But that's where we plan on spending our summers, and then during the winters we're going to travel, and so we'll get some tiny home ideas, we'll get some large home ideas. Our parents are getting a little bit older as well, so we'll go through some aging parent topics because we're still accountable. It's not like we got married and can jet off into the sunset, but we need to stay around and help out. It was funny, in our first apartment we had a little 2-bedroom basement in Cedar City that we shared together. I told Michelle, it's interesting, we have all this extra room, but before we left that home, within months of living there, we'd already filled it up. We've acquired stuff to fit the space that we have, but now with our kids leaving, we've realized that it's time to kind of downsize.
I grew up in California, was born and raised in the same home until I went off to college. Had 5 older brothers, so I hid in my room a lot for protection.
Fair.
But I loved watching my mom and having her home when we got home from school, and I always dreamed to be a homemaker as well, and thought, you know what, that'll be great. I'd love to have kids of my own and take care of them. Enjoyed teaching them things and being with them, playing games and going to their different sporting things. Clogging and marching band, those are 2 sports, right?
Yeah,
We'll call it that.
Ashton, as a matter of fact, top of his game was the center snare for the University of Utah. And then Sabrina, top of her game in clogging, Jean, frisbee, and skiing, and all those different fun things.
And Gideon's off with track and soccer.
Yeah.
So all very busy, but love being their number 1 cheerleader. That's always been lots of fun. Love to cook and read and hang out on a beach with a book and sand between my toes. As time goes on, kids leave, that is not necessarily my top priority anymore. And so it's time to learn things together and travel together. And I'm waiting to see how those different steps go.
Awesome. It was interesting that you said all that stuff about you taking care of the kids, because really, as the dad, I was very traditional in nature. I worked a lot of outside of the home, but I always was a kid's dad. We'd play a lot in the side yard. One of the reasons why we kept this home and enjoyed it so much is there was a big place to play football. So I'd work on my China business or on one of my entrepreneur businesses. I would work and then I'd go out and be able to play sports and goof around on the outside of the house, put the kids to bed and go back at it. Then there came a time in my career that I had to travel quite a bit for different events and different ventures. We've always been middle class. Sometimes it felt very lower middle class, but with Michelle staying at home, we really tried hard to avoid that two-income trap that a lot of times happens. So we continued to work on our relationship. I remember that there's multiple times that we said, hey, hold on, we need to make sure we get our date night in. It might have been when I was driving to the airport. I'd make sure to take Michelle out to dinner to get her away from the kids for a few minutes, even though she loved it and she was happy doing it. It still was about us. As the kids have grown, I've also enjoyed watching them do different sports and activities. It was interesting. One time, we were actually at a football banquet for Ashton, who used to play a lot of football, and I coached. And I remember Gideon saying, Dad, what's this game? It's kind of weird. It's on TV. It looks like a soccer, but they're throwing it with their hands and they're throwing it in a hoop. I don't quite understand. I'm confused. And I go, oh, son, I'm embarrassed to tell you. He's 6 at the time. That's basketball. And he goes, well, why don't we play that? Well, because we ski. And that's what we did as a family. Spent a lot of time skiing, a lot of time on the mountain, just a lot of time outside and doing stuff. Love to camp, hike, hunt. Those are really where I spend most of my time, and that's where I spent most of my time with my boys. And Sabrina got drug into what we'd call forced family fun. So why I'm looking forward to the adventures is twofold. One is I haven't been able to find a good job in the last year. I've submitted over 300 resumes, 30 real brushed up resumes, trying to find another job. I have a small business called Push It, which has been moderately successful. Have found a couple clients. But during this whole time, I realized, we could chase the money, but there's more to life than that. It makes us want to go travel while we can still see and enjoy and do. And so my big why is to get it now while we can still walk around, go see different sites, and enjoy that step of the process.
It's so important to go and do now and not wait. There's too many times where we let opportunities pass us by.
There's a lot that's not in place. We're kind of forcing this opportunity based on situations.
Yeah.
Work is a part of it. The fact that we're kind of in a weird spot with Gideon being gone, Jean in school. Yeah. We've kind of got this weird opportunity right now to go try it. I think that's what you're talking about with change.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've talked about is being really authentic.
Yeah. And
so we're willing to share, ask us questions. We're really open book.
Because guaranteed, it's not all going to be pretty. There's going to be ups and downs.
Michelle and I have done quite a bit of traveling together. One of the silliest trips, it ended up being a lot of fun. But I booked Nice when she wanted to go to England. And if anybody's been to Nice in France, it's the French Riviera.
Beautiful.
I had a great friend say, why would you travel up to Paris? I said, well, because that's what I told Michelle I'd take her to. So I still owe her a Europe trip, really an England trip, because we did get to see the French Riviera and had a lot of fun. Sometimes you have to be willing to bounce around on those adventures. Make a plan, which is what we're doing. We're launching this on our anniversary, our 28th anniversary.
Yeah, 28 years.
That's wild. And it's still just like a honeymoon. Okay, good. We commit to be authentic to what we're going through. And that's why we define this as a tiny home project, because we are going just over 600 square feet, being generous. It's not quite that. For 2 people, it's pretty tight. There's no bedrooms. It's just got a bathroom and a main room.
That's why it's cozy.
Yeah, it'll be very cozy. But also the part of the cozy is that we want to travel. We want to go to Taiwan out of the chute, Thailand, see where we can go before May of next year, before the kids are out for break, and then we'll see where that takes us. So being really authentic is critical.
Yeah. And as we go through these things, we'll be passing on our ideas, what worked and what didn't. And hopefully you guys can join in the fun and share your stories. And we can all make this a fun community of adventures together.
Yep. So there will be some how-to videos, some ideas of what you can do, some of the things that worked for us. But the biggest thing that Michelle and I have decided early on in our marriage is that we get to define our own success. So when people were out buying the nicest new cars and nicest new boats and some of the toys, we had decided that we wanted to be debt-free. So 10 years ago, we got debt-free, paid off our house, and then realized, hey, we didn't put anything away for retirement. So we've got a very scarce retirement, and there's been no business that I've been able to find that we were able to stay with. It kind of puts us in this weird financial spot. So the whole premise of this is we get to define our own success. We're hoping that you can define your success. What does that adventure look like for you and your significant other? It might be you on your own. It might be you with some of your kids. It might be without kids. And that's part of what we've talked about is we want our kids to travel. We traveled with them a little bit. We've done some crazy adventures. Did a 23-day road trip, 6,318 miles or so. Broken down truck. It was wild. It was fun. It worked. And so that's kind of what this is going to be our story about how we do it, how we navigate it, and kind of the ups and downs. We're hoping by being able to share these with you that you'll also be able to get inspired. Realize it's never going to be perfect.
No.
But it's critical. So we hope to also bring fun stories of the people we meet on our adventures. We see a lot of these RV podcasts or tiny home podcasts and some of the people they meet. So we're looking forward to meeting you out there on the road. We're looking forward to helping you find the right teams and get the stuff in place so that you can define your own success. We hope we as the group have experiences and growth and learn and have fun, whatever that looks like in that moment. It's not always fun, but it's worth it.
Excited to have you join us on our Cozy Nest adventures.
Feel free to reach out to us on our different platforms, YouTube channel, Facebook. Join our groups, on our email.
Can't wait to hear from you.